Hello. So, yeah, just a couple of minutes to go. A little bit early, but never mind. Lovely day today, nice and cold outside though. Not doing much gardening. We're doing an image that I've only ever done a few, but I haven't anything to show you because I've sold them both. So, and they're quite nice images to paint. And it's the back of someone's head, yeah? So you get really nice colours in there and trying to paint her. And I have got photographs of them, this is not a very good one actually. That's the one I sold. I think I've sold it. I can't find them anywhere. That one definitely sold because I sold that in London. This one, I'm not too sure. If it does turn up, I'll put it up. But I've had a look everywhere today and can't find it. This one was sold on London Art, which is an online gallery that I've been with for years. So if you want to do online exhibitions, I mean, you have to be selected naturally, but especially in London, where most of the money is. Okay, so yeah, I do like doing them. So I thought we'll have a go instead of just doing a landscape or an urban or a portrait or a figure. Change it up a bit, you know, mix it up a bit. So we're doing the back of this young lady's head. Very similar to that one, only the opposite way around, okay? Now the golden hair, and I think I use green as an underpainting because it comes out in the flesh tones, the green underpainting. That's an oil. These were oils as well, sorry. These were both oil paints. This one is acrylic, which is harder to blend unless you buy the mixer, you know, so you can blend them, which I don't bother, but you can blend them with water. And then that's an oil painting, so that's quite thick, aggressive brush strokes really. So yeah, we're going to do this one. I'm just on normal paper, no lining paper today. I'm feeling okay today, by the way. No vertigo or anything. Touch wood. Touch wood. Proper wood. That's proper wood. And no vertigo yet. So I felt good for a few days, but this is what happens to me. You start feeling normal, and then it just hits you, and then the nausea kicks in. But I'm taking tablets for that anyway. I want to keep discussing my ailments, but it is a pain in the backside. It just so happens it's come along when COVID's here, and I just can't get an appointment to see anybody. You know, unless you got COVID, you're like waiting. Anyway, so yeah, we've got a lovely picture. The background's quite a bluish tone, but you don't have to do that. And it's a lovely golden colour, so I think we're going to use quite a bit of nice alizaries in the back. I'm doing the shoulders as well because I like that area, and then the head's quite nice. So we need to tone down. If you're doing anything that's kind of green underpainting, you need to knock it back, and the easiest way of doing that is to mix its not contemporary, what is it? The colour that's, the grade's not working, maybe. It's opposite, it's, my God, I can't think. Tell me somebody. It's, anyway, so we put green on, which is the underpainting, because any warm colours over the top of that has got to be nice, and so the green will shine through. So I mixed a bit of white with that, and a bit of phthalo green, and then you add a touch of red to it to knock it back, so it becomes off green. You don't want it to be too strong a green, okay? And it doesn't really matter about the edges because we can. That doesn't need to be green. It's mainly where the figure is or the skin tones. It's complementary. There you go. It's come to my head. Come in my head now. It's complementary, which is the colour opposite on the colour wheel. Yeah. So complementary to green is red. You know, you can add a bit of blue to that as well. We just have this underpainting, which is an old, you know, an ace-horse artist used to do it, you still do it, you know, painting. So you're painting the cool tones in the figure rather than the first, and then it's underneath so you can see the cool tone and the warmer tones. Okay, so that's the reason we do it against the warm tone. I mean, we'll have a bit of alizarin here as well because there is some of that in there, and that's a cool colour, so you can have a bit of alizarin. This is quite thick and it's soaking in because I want it to dry quite quick. You know, if it was on gesso, it would be a little bit more difficult because you'd have to let it dry using a hairdryer and all this. But because we're on just paper, normal paper, it just soaks in and dries straight away, which is good. And it also goes lighter. We want to try and create a kind of a mid-tone value, yeah. So a bit of alizarin with that green as well, so it gives us a nice underpainting. Okay, it's also called knocking the white back and getting rid of the white paint, white on paper. Alright, so that's quite bubbly as well now, so I can dry it a little bit just to see, especially around the edges where you put the tape. So I'm going to pull it. So we dry around the edges. Now this is good masking tape again. Said that last time it didn't stick. Let's figure on. So as long as it's dry, that we'll stick it back down after this. So we've got a big bubble in it because of the water. Like that. And then we just lift it and pull. Just pull it down so you're getting rid of the. So you do the sides and then do the middle section. Just stick it down again. Okay? And it should stick unless it's wet. And then pull out the sides. Same thing. Okay? And gets rid of the bigger bubble. Still have a bit. Right, and then I'm going to sketch the head and the shoulders, and then we'll start painting. We are painting in a similar style to oil paint because we'll be working, let me just get my easel up a bit, we'll be working from kind of dark to light, so the darker tones are going to go on first. Okay, so I've got this cool green tonal value which should come out in under the skin tone. So I get a small brush. I can use my big brush later if I need it for painting the background. Again, brushes, bristle or nylon. So I've got bristle brush, nylon brushes. Get a lot of nylon now for man-made fibres. So for acrylics, don't use your best brushes. Okay, I mean I've had this one for ages. And it's still as good as it was when I bought it. Again, the thing about your water, don't let it go over the wood or the ferrule. You don't want it sitting in there so that it comes over the top, because that's what rots them. Anyway, put that in, it's not over, just about. So get a small brush with a point on. Where is it? Here we are. So use a small one for sketching with. Alright, and we draw with something dark. So I'm just mixing again, some alizarin and a bit of blue. I'm on my own today, everybody's at work, thank God for that. The head is half the picture, coming to here, at least leave a gap at the top. So I need to be there, from there to there, alright, in this egg shape. So the same thing applies at the back of your head as it does at the front of your head, because it's an egg, okay? Why does everybody call me egghead? And then we get these really simple shapes where you can see the neck, which is coming in. Now because it's a lady, keep it slim, okay? And then we're coming off in that direction. So keep it slim. That is hanging down. So from the curve to the muscle in the neck, and then we get the shoulder, and then we get kind of a bony part of the shoulder. Okay. Same over here. So we've got the curve, the muscles at the side of your neck, and then you come down to the shoulder. If you look at the head as well, we don't want it to be any bigger than 1.5 heads for, you know, for the width of the shoulders, especially with a lady. You don't want it to be playing rugby for wigging or centellings or whoever's support. Sorry Ken, said centelling. So you just sketch in the shape of the lady's head, alright? And then I'm just going to slightly sketch in the shapes in the head, which, excuse me, over her actually, a bit of blue. I mean, there's not much to this. I mean, you've got this really nice shape where she's tied her hair up. The darker parts are actually going to be in here, yeah. So you've got this, which is tied it, which is actually in front of the neck there. So we're keeping that neck. And then we've got the hair coming out at this side as well, over there. Just little simple shapes. We've got this one. It's coming out there, like that. It's going down the neck. It's coming out. The head's slightly pointed. You can always take it in later. You know, it's better to do it too big rather than too small. The neck might be too wide at the moment, but when I paint the background I can take it in, you see, so you can always look at that later. So always better too wide than not wide enough, you say, okay? And then this shape up here. So you got this. Okay, that's about right. I'm going to try and use my flat brush most of the time to block in tonal values. We have got lovely golden colours in this one. So I've got yellow, red sienna. We can add red to that to make it these lovely kind of darker, and see, lovely tones. If you start adding alizarin to it, don't forget to put a little bit of blue with your alizarin as well. That will make it dark around the edges like this. I'm just trying to put in the shapes. I want some of the yellow to be in the right place, this yellow and burnt sienna, and then just putting marks in really, initially, like that. Nothing too fussy at the moment. Put some green in there where the dark is, and then this is coming off. Very nice, simple kind of shapes. Okay, and then as you're coming around the back of the head, we're going thicker paint as well. So there's not loads of water, so we're getting these lovely kind of warm colours. It's going to be there in the hair. Doesn't matter how big that is. Alizarines. Again, with the side of the neck, we've got this kind of alizarin. So your neck's a tube, okay? Slightly darker at the sides, and it goes red. This is the alizarin because the red tone. We can add a bit of water to that and just kind of scumble over it. You will see some of the green through it. That doesn't matter. If you want to blend things, I get some kitchen roll. This is what you can do while you're painting, you see, to get softer tones. We've got that alizarin going down the back here as well. I'm just picking up little bits of alizarin. Also got some lovely golden colour there, which is yellow and burnt sienna. Okay, again, here, and then it goes yellow. I'm not mixing any white with this. Don't forget, you don't want to be doing too much white tones yet. You know, we want to keep, this is the underpainting. So if you work quite quick and have that lovely alizarin blend like this, so you're not, you know, you're not too thick with the pen, you can create the right shape. The hair just blends into the back of the neck. We've got burnt sienna again with our cadmium yellow, sorry, which is the side of her hair, and we can put that in. You're going to be picking the background out, so that doesn't really matter there. And this side of her hair, just try and enjoy yourself. Put the shapes in, look at where the hair's going and falling. Yeah? A bit more alizarin and blue mixed together for some of the shapes up here, because going quite dark, it's quite dark there. And then a bit more blue. Okay. Just in there. See these lovely warm colours, especially here, are going to come over the top of that. And this is the darker part, which is, you can actually just see her here there, but I'm not putting it in. Now I've told you, everybody will be painting for here. Okay. So again, stand back, look at the picture, and let's start mixing a little bit of burnt sienna and white. And I'm also mixing a bit of ultramarine and white. Alizarin and white, sorry. And just to put in some of these simple marks and shapes with a bit of white pigment now, you can see. So we can put this, blend it into the underside of the neck. That's where the vertebrae is going to be. This is the muscle, so it kind of bulges a little bit, doesn't it? And same here, this is nice light, just catching that shoulder, okay? And then we're going into the kind of warmer tone of this lovely yellow, which is coming down from the neck. And we can blend that, so if you do it kind of quicker, as we're coming down, we're going a little bit lighter, add a bit more white to that, like this. So we can do quite a bit, and then that's the vertebrae, the back of the neck. This is the side of her, that's going to be the shoulder blade. It's catching some light. You see, we're working quite quick. We're also working, oops, with kind of not loaded brush, just very, very watery brush like that. Okay, I'm trying to get the contrast right first in the skin tones. That's all. Nothing too fussy. Just looking at where it changes from alizarin to a little bit lighter, and the underpainting. Keep the underpainting. It will dry quicker, lighter, is it? It will fade. I mean, it'll go darker, sorry, not lighter. Okay, so I'm just getting that curve of the back and some of these nice shapes. Bit of yellow and alizarin make orange, which is kind of lovely, kind of warm colour here and in the back of the neck. Okay, and then here we've got that lovely warm of the hair in the orange. So I'm looking at all these darks, mid-tone values. Don't forget, we're going to paint around the hair later, so you don't need to worry about it. So your background's a dark shape, actually, because we're going to be doing this kind of thing. You see where the light is now. Don't want to work too quick because you'll have nothing to do. So this is a bit of light, just catching centre and the way it curves away like that. See, so I'm adding a little bit of white and yellow. Don't go too white too soon. That's the problem people have with when they're painting anything, actually. They go too light too soon, and you should be building up these shapes like that, so you're getting that lovely light. Anyway, while I dry a bit, I'm going to get some green and some blue. I mix a bit of alizarin with it and a bit more blue. Keep it on the blue side. So this will give me lots of kind of contrast here. So nice and dark as well. And then you can see where you get the tonal values, and then you start to bring out those darks within the hair. It's like the bits in between the hair. Thicker paint, not as much water, thick pigment behind things, at the back of things, see? So we start to paint the background. Should actually get rid of a lot of the background because it's coming through here. We can go over that. I can go around that a little bit to keep it light. And then we'll scratch into that. I'm just painting the shapes first around the head. Well, I'll just say there's some cracking paintings being produced, you know. You lot, I think I'm going to put my prices up. You keep on doing so much. You're going to be doing more better than me. It is not hard sometimes. Lovely shape. We'll just get rid of the background. So yeah, big brush, like a flat brush, mix some red and blue together, add a bit of green to that. A nice dark tone. So you're coming around the shoulders, you see. And it's thick paint, so you want to create a nice shape like that. Shoulders. Okay. Yes. Okay. Can't really say much about this painting. I mean, you're just painting negative shapes behind someone's head. So it's quite interesting, isn't it? And you can paint anything. Once you know the basics of drawing, you can just paint anything. Keep the shoulders slightly bumpy, because you've got bones under there, okay? You have your shoulder blade and you've got your bone on the shoulder there. Might take the neck in a little bit more after. Just keep looking at it first. You can always go over. I'm trying to leave some of that underpainting just showing, so when I put light over it, like this, I can also splatter with pigment, so we'll go around the head. So I have them in the way, so you're getting the nice shapes. Come back, lovely sunlight, and it's all about building up that contrast, okay, that tone. Nothing else matters. So again, up here, I can just cover that up because it's quite dark at the top. We can take that in to a hair as well, and that will help with the head disappearing into the background, because you want the head to come at you from a background tone. You probably have to, once that dries, you're going to have to go over it again, because it's going to be quite flat, and it'll go a little bit lighter. So here we've got that curve again, and then this, just trying to leave that bit, a bit of a shine here, quite shiny because it's wet. Quite happy with the neck. It might be a little too, because I think a jaw's there and then a neck's here, so I think it's still a little bit too wide. Okay, because we get a kind of a straight line there and then it comes in. Have you noticed? And then you get the hair going around these shapes like that. Nice big flat shape. Keep the neck a little bit longer as well. You have a long neck. We're artists, we can do what we want. Okay. It's might not have a long neck, but we can rebuild it. Just putting that line in. Same here. Anyway, I can't wait to get out painting outdoors actually. Not done any for ages. I've been wondering if I can do it online. I'd have to go somewhere, won't we? somewhere quiet. But you need the same image. You need to see the same thing. We don't have to do the same one, do we? We can all do different versions of somewhere in your local area. As long as we say, let's paint water. You know? You take yourself down to your nearest pond or your canal, find somewhere quiet and do a nice painting. And then everybody won't be able to do it online, but everybody bring it back at the end. Bit more blue. I've actually got some cerulean as well here, so I'm going to mix that in just to give me a change in blue, you see, just to get it change my background a little bit, so it's not all just one flat dark tone. So I've put a bit of blue in it, a bit of blue for dads, as they say, and clubs. Well, black backgrounds are quite important, yeah, because whatever you paint sits in a space, and that space is the background around the object. Okay, yeah, go see it. You can mix sienna with that as well, but it starts taking on a warmer tone, so it could compete. So I'm not bothered with sienna. I'll just do this alizarin and dark tone. So you go right up to the tape, so you get a nice white border when it's finished. Okay, keep your green in there. Keep your green and your blue and your red. That's the darkest tone you're going to get without using a black. Again, we come round here and then down there like that. All the way down, you can see. And the same here. You can see how it goes flat. I'll just show you. So if I come round that shoulder again, it goes in slightly round and flat. See how dark you can get it again? Squint, take your glasses off. Do a little bit of blending, keep that softness. So I put white on it and you can see how it's sunk. So all the time I put tonal values on, it's like doing a pastel actually, because you know when we spray the pastel halfway through, it's because it goes a bit too light, too dark, and then we spray it, it goes a little bit darker. So I'm just doing the hair up there actually, and don't want to take that off picture because it blends into the background, and so we want to see the background going around her head. Okay, and you varnish them, don't forget you're going to varnish it, and the varnish, water-based varnish, you know what varnish it is now, don't you? Water-based varnish, anything that's here it is, got one here, so quick dry varnish, never heard of the name of that, Rustin's, $5.95 a tin. You know, anything that's water based will work. So just go and grab some from your nearest DIY store. If you can wash your brushes in water and soap, it's water based. If you have to use tips, it's oil based. Right, and I'm looking at the head. I'm going to let the background dry, and I'm going to carry on with some of my burnt sienna and white and yellow tones. Okay, so we're getting these really nice shapes like that. So a bit of a dry brush technique, blend it. Just want this back to come further out at me where the warmth is there, you can see. So again we've got a bit of water on it and it's blending into the background. It's going to go flat, so don't worry. And we can have a bit more ultramarine, not ultramarine, alizarin and white. So we get this cooler tone, okay, which is this kind of pink as well, which is nice colour. I've got the pink there as well, kind of. It goes into this yellow. So when you mix pink and yellow, what do you get? Warm. bit more sienna and white, like this. So here we're getting a little bit of warmer tone. I'm blending it first, and then I'm going to finish off with kind of thicker brush strokes, okay? Thicker marks. So we want this nice shape at the back of the neck, which is that, because your neck's a tube, like I said. So it's lighter there, a bit lighter here as well, a bit lighter there, where you get in the a bit of white with that on the screen. So that's the top of your vertebrae in your spine. You've got these lovely colours that you just kind of blend in, pastel colours. Okay, keep standing by in the neck, because the skin's quite important. Yeah, you want the hair to be sat on somebody's head and not going about on the floor. Again, we've got this lovely white and birch sienna and alizarin shape here. And again, a bit more sienna and white. Don't use pure white on its own, not yet. We can blend these shapes. You can either use your finger or you just blend them in. You're going to get this lovely kind of light catching the top of the shoulder, like that. So again, if you've got the blending medium, you're okay, you're halfway there. You can use your blending medium. Otherwise, use your finger. So finger. Get that lovely curve on the neck and the back. And the shape here. Keep changing your colours. Don't just have warm, have cool. Azurines. Pinks. Purple. Purple. And then that's quite dark, and it was lighter in the sienna. Okay, just this little bit. You can put it on, and then you can just rub it in. You don't have to use your finger. If you've got lovely nails, you know, don't ruin your nails. Anyway, I'm going to look at the rest of the hair, I think. I'll leave that to dry for a little bit. Because you've got mid-tones on, and it's started to come, the pastel-y colours starting to come forward. I might keep this shoulder a little bit lower, actually. Make sure your shoulders line up as well. Just get a smaller brush. Bit of blue, bit of green. Bluey green, huey green, a bit of kind of shape there. That's going to run, got a big drip. But again, try and keep it, and it's slightly bony. Slightly bony. Yeah. Bony end. Again, when we come down here, we see this kind of dip, and it comes out again. And then it was kind of sideways. Yeah, so you can see where I can still see through paper because it's not thick enough yet. So just put that dark shape. Small brushes as well. You should be working your way up to detail. Nothing too fussy at the moment. So your detail is going to be like the light on her hair. So if I start here, dry brush. I think a lot of the time painting's about the marks you make and how you make them. Okay. So this is my soft brush. I just kind of want to bring out this yellow and alizarin and white, so you're getting this kind of, see, this kind of shape, and that one, and that. Just where the hair changes changes, get these lovely colours coming out. Again, it's got a bit, it's sienna, alizarin and some white mixed in it. So you're getting this kind of lovely tones. Look at that. All of the orange. Shape that. Glaze it. Glaze the sides of this where the yellow is. Keep that dark. Get some blue. Mix it with some alizarin again to give you purple. As you're coming down here, it's dark, so we can blend that in. Whoops. What have I done? Got a mark on the back. Tattoo. As you come down here, it's dark as well. Again, red and green. It was I was going to wear some earplugs today, so I would talk louder and you'd be able to hear me better. And I forgot again. So anyway, I'm sure you can hear me now. Turn your volume up. Yeah. So this is this kind of just a simple change in tone where the neck is. I want to create that shape. Use a smaller brush as well. So we're doing detail for where the hair meets, you know, so you get these lovely dark areas. So it's like I've got a dark shape here and there. Try and put it in as quickly as possible, and then it comes this way. Stick paint, thick cover. I don't always work too hard against the clock, you know. I like spontaneity and I like doing things quite quick, but sometimes I take my time. But other times I don't. So I do a lot of the time. I like just creating these lovely shapes, like, because I find it's the quicker you do them, the better, the more spontaneous it is. I've noticed, you know. We did that, what's the lady's name? Joan painting, who's very sadly died quite young. I love the way she had this abstract quality to it, but I have noticed that quite a few of you have made it more kind of realistic. Yeah, which is fine. I've not seen anybody put the people in yet. Unless I've missed it. People in the water. Okay. Now the difference between acrylics and oil paint is the oils will keep the luminosity. You know? So when you put a mark on, it's going to shine. Whereas acrylics are going dull until you kind of bring out those highlights. Okay. So I'm just going to use a smaller brush to try and pick out a few of these strong highlights. We've got things like that, and I know it's not yellow, it's kind of white, and this, there's a shape there, it's just coming out, actually blends into that. Small brush for things like that, a bit of alizarin with it. And then we're getting these lovely shapes. Again, where it meets, where the light catches the hair stronger, but we're not using too much weight yet. I just want to keep that slowly building up like that, to bring the hair forward. Again, little bits of info. These won't go in lighter, that one's going darker. No rush today because I've got plenty of time. So that, the colour of the hair underneath. this shape. I've got some dark here and I need to bring it out slightly. If you actually look, well, you're looking, we've got some hair that's blue, which is the top of the head. So it's kind of, you know, reflected light on the head, which all adds to that. You can put that all the way around actually. That's where the ear is there, see. Then we've got the shape of the face. So again, we've got this nice stony here, which is the shape of a jaw, and then the face. Coming down. You start to see these little changes in tone. That's what we're after all the time. Again, I'm going to work, I'll leave that a bit. I'm going to work into my underpainting. Now I have a very old brush that's losing its hairs, and it gives me quite a coarse brush mark. And I can't find it, should have got the right first actually. I think it's this one. Anyway, it's a bristle brush, and it's got a lovely kind of, and you ruin it as well. So we've got this, because it will give me these very fine marks that will be the hair, can you see? So that's the brush, and the hairs are kind of missing at the end. Keep all your old brushes. You don't think because you don't use them anymore, they're not coming handy, because they will. I was going to do the back one too. A bit of sienna. So I've got this shape. I'm trying to look around the head. That's too dark. It's too light, so this is more of a alizarin colour. Slightly more white now. Using the same brush, because I want to get that coarseness of the hair. Like that. Just like that. Just like that. And then got a bit here. And that one. Kind of going like that. Mad hair day. Bad hair day. You don't do too many. Keep to what you're looking at. You can overdo it. You can paint the background behind that. Stand back, have a drink of water. Yeah, I like some of the colours coming through now. You can see the greens really setting off. This is the green underpainting. And it's not in the picture, but it's setting off the warms. The warms in the head, yeah? So I'm just going to slim the head down a little bit. By that I mean, I'm going to paint the sides. And again, it's a mixture of cream, blue and red. Alizarin's a very good colour to use. That's the dark shape of the hair. Okay, just up there. And it just gives you some shape to the head. And the darker bits around the edges, yeah. I'm going to add a bit more green because I want to do the negative space between two strands of hair. And I don't know why it works, but it does. If you paint the light through the trees, you get a better looking tree rather than trying to paint the branches. So it's the light or the shadows in your background. The bushes were kind of made with this point where the fowl is. That's where you get this pointy bit, so you can utilise that. Yeah. Again, I'm just going to blend that into the hair there. This is going to be very light in a bit. That's the back of the ear. Ear. Yeah. Back of the ear. Might just put it in actually. Because, excuse me. Yeah, because we've got this light area. You can see? Little bits of info. There's red. Make this beautiful orange. So this is my coarse brush again. This part of the hair goes from lovely warms here as well. But you don't cover up your underpainting. You need it. You need to see other colours in there. Alright? You need it. Honest. And every time you go a little bit lighter, you're adding more detail. Now, I will carry on with the back. So we're using, again, white with alizarin. We're going to go into this again. Need a tissue, just to do a bit of blending. You know, all my secrets are in now. Here it comes in, then it comes down. Then you get that blending, because there's a muscle there, isn't there? So you get this kind of the shape at the top of the shoulder. You got a little bit of a shape on the neck there, where the light's catching the shoulders. And then we got this more of a sienna shape now. On the back of the neck, so it's again coming down this way. Blend the sides. You're going thicker with the pigment as well, so you can get to a point where we can just keep the highlights if there's any highlights. And then so you got this again, the vertebrae, back of the neck, again, and it. You get a lovely shape. So that's gone dry and dry. Lighter, darker. That goes darker. This one, scumble, blend, squint, take your glasses off. This one, warmer. Yeah. So it's a lot warmer, and then it blends into the rest of the back. There. Okay, I can have a bit of that warmth here, add a bit of red to yellow, that's where you're getting this orange feel. Again, blend it. Yeah, if you've got that beautiful medium, blending medium, it's worth paying if you want to use it. Have a try, yeah. Bit of alizarin on top of the shoulder, because it's quite dark here. See where it changes tone, and it changes tone again here. All the time, squinting, blending, bringing out the lights. Okay, yes, yeah. Again, that's lovely. Here, side of the figure. Blend it. Try and leave the middle section, you're just taking it off again. Yeah, because this is taking a little bit longer than it would with the oils, because you'll be able to do this quite quickly. So again, we'll have a bit more red, a bit more white, sorry, put that in, the neck where the highlight is, and then on the vertebrae again. That's where it bulges a little bit, and then it comes down here a little bit, and goes that way a little bit. You see? It'd be nice in pastel this actually. Let that dry, stand back. Lovely. And we'll get around to varnishing this, it will be good. I want my coarse brush again, which is the one with the hairs. Just do that. So it gets all mangled up. Get some of your white and whatever colour you're using. So you're getting this shape. And let the hairs do the work. A bit lighter in the middle. You see? All the time. Building up. Slightly thicker paint this, so it's not as much white, there's not as much water on it. Hair, something like that. A bit more white. It's quite strong there, isn't it? That's quite strong, that's quite strong. This is where the highlights are coming in. It's quite strong. Got one there as well. And they go yellowy, orangey. Which is this bit. Don't forget I can paint around it. A bit more white, a bit more alizarin. Let's bring out some of these. And that. Like that. Turn back. Have a drink. Can't wait to get back to the pub. I keep saying that, but I think I'm an alcoholic. Well, I'm not. Tip, blend, tip, blend, tip, blend. Just keep blending. I like using my fingers actually, because I've got my DNA on it, I've got my tones in there. A lot of white now, hardly any yellow. This one's got a lovely big kind of streak in the middle, and then goes like that. So does this, so does this. You see how light you get in now? And it's still not pure white, this is more or less just yellow and white. There. Back. Bit more, bit sienna. Touch of blue. Oops, got green hair now. Bit sienna. Just to give me this shape at the top of the head. Get a smaller brush now, something that, this is a bristle one but it's got a point on it, so that's, they all wear down in town. So I'm looking at what have I got to do with it? I forgot. Oh, my shades again. The negative space. Again, around some of these shapes in her head, in her hair, like that, yeah. Just to bring out a bit of detail before I use pure white. Pure white. The thing is, when it's quite warm, when it gets warm, it starts to dry quite quick. Repaint. Repaint, redraw, negative. Let's have a bit more blue, I think. Get the head higher. A bit more here. You can start making it up as well. You must say it's when you start adding your own interest, that's when you get your own style, technique. Right, a bit of yellow. So there's one here that's kind of coming around. I'm going white, near enough, no lighter. And if you look at the whites, this is the lightest, then it goes a bit darker. See? This is the lightest, and it goes darker. And then the lightest part of all is these kind of wisps of hair. Coming from that centre. Where the light's catching. Right, then the dark bit. The thing is with anything you paint, it's actually making you look, yeah. So you really have to look. So here, that shape on the neck. A bit of sienna. Sienna and the Lizarine. For me. Yeah, there's always a few strands that get away, isn't there? Ladies. So I'm back. It's just the back now, really. It needs to be built up slowly. Again, you can see highlights are kind of slightly gone dull again. You get to a certain point though, you don't have to keep blending it, you can just put it on and leave it. It's going darker now. It's going lighter, I mean, sorry. See? So you can put a mark in just to give you that contrast. Alright, bit more white. It's kind of pink. And the pink against your underpainting, the green, works quite well. Yeah. Dry brush. Try to, well, when you start painting, just try and get the difference between a dry brush and a wet wash. See the shapes within the figure. It gets easier. It gets easier, honest. Two o'clock. So far, so good. Make a good hairdresser. The background is gone light again, so you can make that darker. When you varnish it, the light's gonna it's gonna make it look lighter. You can do a bit of splattering, you know. I don't go too much with this because I'll end up with bad hair day. Things like that. Sometimes I like to use a bit of pastel. Pastel works quite well actually. You see the side of her face there, like I say. And then she's got, so if you use some white pastel, you know, you have to spray it. You can varnish pastel, you know that. See? And then you get these little wisps of hair. The ones that got away. The realism, if you like. That's the dark bit. Same with that really. Use a dark pastel. Black. You can use a bit of sienna with it, you see, warm it up, just to give that lovely contrast there, so that hair over the shoulder. Little things make a big difference. I can't do the cold chicken effect, it's very difficult on the skin. Still do adding more white to that mix of alizarin, especially here. It's a little bit darker there, a bit lighter there. Depends where you want to crop it as well. You know, you can carry on. I can crop that a bit and just have the shoulders, or you can just leave the shape as it is. And you can varnish it and then add light later. Add other tones later, yeah. Keep thinking I'm having a dizzy spell. But these glasses don't help. I'm going to use some black pastel. I know we've gone from the norm. Just to put in, this is how dark you can go. The shape at the side of her neck. Give that lovely dark shape. You'd have to spray this, don't forget. So you get this really nice dark and then a curve, negative space, back of the neck. You can actually put it in it as well. Where her hair is. Inside the hair. This gives you that contrast a bit more. But then you just have to be careful. You don't want to cover your colour up. The neck, blend it. So you don't just see a black shape, it blends into the background. You can pick out the dark shapes inside those strands of hair, like that. Gives you a nice negative. Got some here as well. Like that. Don't forget to spray it. Where's my spray? I didn't know I was going to use pastel. That's why I haven't got it out. But it helps with the contrast. Sorry, walking in front. Yeah, and then we'll varnish it. Spray it, varnish. So, spray. So I'll be at hairdressers. In fact, the hairspray makes it dark as well, doesn't it? You can just leave it like that, I presume. And dry it off, finish it off actually. Not take so long. Very nice. And there you have it. Take it with you when you go to the hairdresser. Can you cut my hair like this? Please, I want my hair doing like this. And there, clip, clip. Clip, clip. They're lovely to do in oils actually, but acrylics works just as well. Thank you. So you got a bit of sunburn, but we can sort that out. And yeah, just work over the top of it, varnish it, work over the top. I'll just leave it. So thanks for watching. I'm going to get me a cup of tea now, sit in the garden, and I'll see you on Friday. These weeks are flying, aren't they? See you Friday. It's nearly April, so we can get back. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good week, rest of the week, weekend. Bye.